population of young people entering the workforce each year. What is your plan to address youth unemployment? And may I continue by asking if you could outline any specific programs to support entrepreneurship, skills training, or expansion of industries that have high job creation potential.
And for them to be able to create jobs. We've announced our 24-hour economy, and I strongly believe that Ghana has the huge potential of increasing our GDP with the same resources and the same human resource. That in itself will create enough jobs that will be able to cater for our teeming youth. But in the meantime, President Mahama and the manifesto of the NDC has not minced words on this. We are going to set up a structure to train skills, give them access to the required training, and give them the tools for them to be able to learn the trade. I'll fund it as a minister, if approved, or when approved, in such a way that the skills that we lack as a country, we can train them locally and give them employment. Today, most of us, anytime you want to get good artisans, you go to our neighboring countries and bring them in. But we have the youth here. Why don't we give them the training? I think we need to revisit that. And I'll work with the sector ministers and be able to allocate the needed resources to them. And as I've said, that is my role as a minister responsible for finance. So we'll allocate the revenue, the resources to them for them to be able to. Then I will mobilize the resources and be able to allocate them effectively and efficiently.
Thank you very much.
Any further questions?
Yes, I'm very much interested in your answer to my last question. But I'm looking at the development of women, and I'm highly interested in your manifesto promise to set up a women development bank, and then free tertiary education. And I know all these things are going to be of a prime benefit for our ladies or our women in the country. With a proposed reduction in taxes, is fiscal consolidation a priority for the government in the near term, taking into account government's manifesto? Thank you.
We will front load it. We will front load it carefully. At the same time, we'll signal to the investor community strongly that fiscal consolidation is not only a priority, but we'll front load it in a way, at the same time not ignoring the impact on growth and protecting the vulnerable. So that, I can assure you, it is a priority. We have an option to rationalize some of these expenditures. And so it's a matter of switching and rationalizing. So it doesn't mean the flagship we've announced as part of our manifesto does not mean we are going to increase expenditure. That is not what it means. It's a priority of government, and we'll do just that.
Thank you for your answer. Any more questions?
Yes, I will have my last contribution.
Question or contribution?
A follow-up question to the statement made or the question put in by data for end of year usually is validated on the first quarter of the ensuing year. So all data presented during the budget reading in November are provisional. How then do you say that data presented in 2017 and 2018, knowing that they are provisional, you term it as inaccurate? Thank you.
Thank you very much. What did you say? Those data is provisional, though,
Mr.
but
Chairman,
inaccurate.
that is exactly my point. The Honorable Gideon Boakon made reference to a particular data point and said that I was inaccurate. I had said this in 2019, and I said it at the time that the government had published accurate data. I said it at the time that the IMF, at the time, and remember, Ghana was in an IMF program, had gone to their board to present to their board and their final numbers. Mr. Chairman, I did not lie. I said what I believe was the fact. In fact, subsequent data from the Ministry of Finance has confirmed that I was overly generous, and then the fiscal data was even below what I had announced. I had announced 7.8, and that they had revised it downwards to 6.3. Mr. Chairman, I did not cook these numbers. This was given to me by the Ministry of Finance this morning. And so, this is what I mean. Data, obviously, but that is what it is. And you know, in Parliament, you have to debate. You have to debate certain data, and you debate that appropriately.
Thank you very much. The question well answered. Any more questions? We will now...
Just to wish the honourable member, my favourite friend, very well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Honourable Dr. Gideon Boako, you are not even a member of the committee. So why are you raising your hand? It appears I'm overindulging you. No. Honourable Boa, you are 10.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you very much. Chairman, thank you very much.
Chairman, with respect.
Chairman, let me say that
Chairman,
you have...
With the greatest respect.
Chairman.
No, don't.
I think that
Chairman, I need to come in on this.
But the Chairman has recognized me unless he changes his mind.
Honourable Minority Leader, I recognize Honourable Boa.
Chairman, I'm in for a point of order. Chairman, point of order. Chairman, let's deal with this before.
Thank you, Chairman.
Chairman, let's deal with this.
Honourable Afenyamankin,
Chairman, let's deal with this.
Respect the chair.
Let's deal with this before we.
Respect the chair.
Chairman, let's deal with this.
Please respect the chair.
Leader, I have recognized Amaboa.
And yes, I have noted
Thereafter,
that.
I can give you the floor.
Chairman.
Honourable Minority Leader.
Chairman.
Honourable Minority Leader, I have recognized Honourable Amaboa, the Deputy Majority Leader. I will give you the floor thereafter.
Chairman, with the greatest respect.
Chairman, let me go ahead.
Chairman, with the greatest respect.
Honourable Kesel,
Chairman, with the greatest respect to you.
Congratulations.
Please, let's deal with this
Very, very proud
so
of you.
that after that.
We entered
You consistently raise your voice
2009.
on my colleagues. Mr. Chairman, you consistently raise your voice on my colleagues. The way you address them,
Please
the way you address my colleagues
respect the chair.
Does not go in accord with what we all have agreed on, to extend to each other that utmost respect. This is my fourth time of humbly pleading with you and craving your indulgence. I understand that you may have a high-pitched voice. However, I will plead with you. The way you came across as shouting on him, it happened in Honorable Abina Osaya Sari. You did it to Honorable Samia Wuku, and it's happening. I'm only pleading with you that in all humility, please, perhaps you did not intend that. And I'm here. If you feel that any of my colleagues is doing something or there's something that is not acceptable, we can work together. But the way you did it, I'm pleading with you.
Point well made.
Please, Chair.
But, Honourable Leader, with all due respect, I endorse non-members of the committee to ask a question contrary to the practice and the procedure of this particular committee. Therefore, I do not expect any non-member, after exhausting that right, to be craving to ask more questions. I think we should conduct the business in a very orderly manner. So, Honorable Amabua, your turn.
Chairman, let me say that the only reason why I yielded to Honorable Afenyomak is not because he's macho than anybody here, but because I respect this parliament and I respect the chair.
Honorable Deputy Majority Leader, proceed to ask your question.
I respect the chair.
Proceed to ask
Chairman,
your question.
I'm going to ask my question. Let me put it on record that, Chairman, you've been very kind to the minority today. And I've been here for a long time. And, Chairman, this extension of courtesies never happened when we were in the minority under the former chairman of the appointment committee, Honorable Ose Owusu. It never happened. And we have to make it clear that you are the only chairman that can allow anybody to speak. Honorable Afenyomak is the ranking member, but you have to give him the right to speak. Anyway, congratulations, Honorable Kesil Atufosin. I entered Parliament with you in 2009. I know that we were about 42 on our side, and then the other side also had a number. We were all together about 92. Today, after 16 years, well, we are only 4 left. That speaks volumes about the attrition of Parliament. But I am very, very, very proud of you. So if I say I know you very well, I know you very well. You are a man of complete integrity, and you speak with data and facts. And I am very, very confident that that's exactly what you do. I'm very proud of your performance today, and I think you've calmed the nerves of the people of Ghana and given them the assurance that you are going to really lead, quite frankly, the finance ministry to success. So, my respected leader, I must also congratulate you on behalf of our colleague. You, as minority leader, will be remembered as the leader that in the last 2 years led the minority from 137 to 188 seats. Congratulations. So I'll go straight to my question. Ghana's economy, Honorable, is grappling with serious challenges. I think you've talked a lot about them. Debt to GDP issues, inflation, and high unemployment. And so my question is, as the Minister of Finance, what will be your top priorities to address these challenges?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, let me also thank His Excellency the President for the honor done me, and my party, the NDC, again, for giving me such an opportunity to serve Ghana in such a high position, in a position of trust. I come to this position very well prepared. I have 16 years experience in public service after some years in the private sector. The Chairman, in politics, you are aware that I've served, one as a Deputy Minister of Finance, and on that side, when my party went to opposition, I was the minority spokesperson for 6 years. During this period, I have carefully studied the trends of Ghana's economy and monitored the behavior of how our economy behaves. I think I'm in a better place to move our country from these uncharted waters to a calm place. I'm determined. I'll do that for God and country. I do not think I have a room to misbehave. I've said so much in opposition. I'm minded by some of the things that I've said, and I cannot say one thing and go and do the other. Whatever it takes, I will be reminded and remember some of the things that I've said. And the criticisms constructively. And I urge my colleagues also to do the same. I will do whatever it takes to move this economy from the crisis that we are in today to where we have to be. My priority as a minister will be low prices, stable city, and job. And we know the inflation we see today is anchored, is largely driven with food inflation. What do we do? As a minister, I will allocate resources in consultation with Cabinet to government policy of agriculture for economic transformation to make food cheaper. And we'll work with the minister responsible for agric to make food cheaper. That in itself will help make food available and protect food security. From the price side, you can't talk about price without inflation. I mean, inflation needs to be tamed. It has been stubborn. I've said it earlier. It has, in the last 8 months, you can see that we are still seeing some uptick, even though not too steep. But it has been 23.8. Today, that's the inflation rate. What do we do together to reduce this inflation? Yes, I've said it here and I want to say it again. We will work with the Bank of Ghana to reduce inflation to 8% plus or minus 2 in the shortest possible time. And how do we do this? From the fiscal side, we will front load fiscal consolidation in the shortest possible time so that we can get inflation down. And in doing so, we'll see prices stabilizing. The city needs to be anchored and has to be anchored from the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana. You can't leave the Bank of Ghana alone to anchor the city. The fiscal authorities has a role to play. I'll work with them. I will work and coordinate effectively with the central bank, the monetary authorities, so that together we can anchor the currency. Monetary financing must be eliminated, and we'll work to eliminate it. I'm on record to have spoken against monetary financing. My position has not changed. It's economist, and it still remains economist. And I will do exactly what it is to make sure we anchor the currency. On jobs, I've said it all. I've said it here that my responsibility as a minister responsible for finance is to raise the required revenue and to allocate it in consultation with Cabinet to sectors that will create the jobs. And so we will do just that. And I want to repeat that these are my priorities as a minister, and we'll work to achieve that in the shortest possible time. I want to be remembered as the one who helped to reduce prices and stabilize the currency and create jobs. That is what I ask God to help me to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you. Shama, can I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. So you talked a lot about the cost of living crisis, food inflation. Obviously, you can only do this with other sectors, other ministries, to address these, what we call the inefficiencies in the agriculture value chain. Can you outline some of the strategies that you do, working with other structures to address these inefficiencies in the agriculture value chain?
Honorable nominee, your answer, please.
Mr. Chairman, my passion is agric and agribusiness. And that's why I'm sure you've seen questions coming from Coco, left, right, and center. Why is it that food inflation is 27.8? I think it speaks volume. It speaks volume. And what are the staples? Ghana staples. Why are we not taking hard decision to invest in the agriculture sector? I think the time has come for us to pay attention to agriculture sector. I will wait for the nomination of the minister responsible for agriculture and his subsequent approval. I hope to work with the minister concerned, and we will work together to implement the government policy to make food cheaper. We have to mechanize agriculture. We have to improve and enhance productivity, and we have to modernize the agri sector and make it encouraging for young people to enter the sector. And in the process, you cannot ignore agribusiness. As I've said, that's my passion, and I intend to work with the minister responsible for agriculture to ensure food security and cheaper foods.
Honourable Minister, I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Any more questions?
No. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I may allow questions from the ranking member, Honourable Deputy Minority Leader, Alexander Kwamina Afenyo-Martins. Honourable Deputy Minority Leader. Yes, Deputy Minority Leader. Honourable Deputy Ranking and Minority. Ranking Member and Minority Leader. Minority Leader. Yes, Deputy Minority Leader. Honourable Deputy Ranking and Minority. Ranking Minority Leader. Honourable Deputy Ranking and Minority. Ranking Member and Minority Leader.
Watch your favorite TV show in your palm. TV on the go. Download the Weasel TV app for Android on Play Store or for iOS on the Apple Store. TV made easier. Weasel TV, we go all out for you.
I shall proceed with some few questions. In your earlier submission, you had said that you will not hurt the vulnerable. And if I quote you further, you also said that I am from a rural constituency. Therefore, I would champion policies that would benefit the poor. Currently, we have some social intervention programs rolling. One, free SHS, boarding, free, tuition, free, feeding, free. Would you sustain the free SHS program in its current form and shape, and even improve upon
that you will sustain and improve upon the free senior high school program?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, myself and the minority leader has a history. We plan to enter this chamber together. Unfortunately, in his first attempt, he couldn't make it, and I made it. Mr. Chairman, he lost that primaries, and I won. And today, I'm one term older than him. Mr. Chairman, I'm his senior. He's older than me just 4 months, same year. We are 2 constituencies apart. We used to do private sector business even before we all entered here, and we've known ourselves growing up. Everyone knows the relationship between us. But working with him didn't stop me from doing my work, and it didn't stop him from also doing his work. And so, to add to colleagues, we may have relationships, but it should not stop you from doing your work. You should work for God and country, and you have to do it with the best of intention to help our country grow. We did just that. We've had a moment, we fought, we united ourselves. Today, the tables have turned. He's now the minority leader. Kwamina, learn from me and be good. Be good.
That's a good one.
Be good. Be good. Mr. Chairman, I want to say this. My party's position on free senior high school has been well articulated by His Excellency the President. We do not intend to cancel the free SHS. In fact, President Mahama has said that the free SHS has come to stay. I don't think you need any further assurance. The President of the Republic of Ghana has made this statement. Who am I? As a minister that he has appointed. So you have the assurance from the highest level of government to preserve the policy. I don't think I have what it takes to give you additional assurance. It's done. And he will be coming to this house as part of his State of the Nation address. I'm sure he will re-echo that position. I'm only a servant. My responsibility, if approved, will be to allocate resources to his priorities or to the priorities of the government. And I'll do that. So, my brother and my friend, be assured that free SHS has come to stay. And if there's anything, we'll come to this house for us to work together. But the president has said it. The budget will be presented to this house for us to peruse, consider it, and approve it. So let's not jump the gun. But I'm sure you are very sure. You are very much aware of what His Excellency, his pronouncement in the last few years.
Thank you very much. Any further questions?
Chairman, as the holder of the purse, whether the school feeding program will be sustained.
Thank you very much. School feeding program.
Mr. Chairman, I said earlier that I come from a rural constituency. And I know the impact of school feeding program. My concern is that the amount you give today per child as the cost you pay to the caterer is not enough to pay to feed the child well. In fact, it is not enough even to buy egg. That's what it is. It's not enough to buy egg. And so we will not only sustain it, but we'll make it better. We will make it better. Because as I've said, our policies will be designed in such a way that those strong will preserve growth and protect the vulnerable. And the vulnerable is what we are talking about. Remember, the school feeding is not in Achimota. It's not in Achimota school. It's somewhere in the village. And for them, this 1 square meal or twice is enough.
Right. So, Chairman, just for clarity and for the records, the caterers out there listening to you should take it that the current amount being paid to them is going to increase once you take over. With that assurance, what percentage should they expect? 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%? Because you say that the amount being paid is woefully inadequate. You didn't just say inadequate, you say woefully inadequate. So please let the caterers know, as the holder of the purse, the percentage you are going to increase their costs.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you very much. But
Chairman,
before you provide your answer,
the minority leader is putting words in my mouth.
yes, but before you provide your answer, can you state how much is it now?
Mr. Chairman, I never said we are going to increase. I never used that word. I said that we will sustain it and improve on it, and made reference to the amount we pay and said it's not enough, because I've heard the caterers complain. So, Chairman, this is a house of records. Whatever we say here goes into the Hansard. I never said that. And so, Mr. Chairman,
Thank you very much.
You don't just increase. You need to engage the sector. And so it will be difficult for me to sit here and just announce. I don't work like that, arbitrary. What is the basis of just announcing 20%? I don't work like that. I'm a careful person. So I cannot announce things that I don't know.
Chairman, the honorable nominee said that he is aware that the caterers have been complaining. That is a fact that is coming from him. 2, he says that they are not being paid enough, considering even the cost of an egg. He referred to that. And he is going to improve upon it. Now, what is the definition of improvement? This is a matter of cost. If you say the amount is not enough, even the cost of an egg, and looking at how much they are being paid. So obviously, you are suggesting to them that you are going to increase the amount they are being paid. And if you cannot give us a percentage, that's fine. I won't push. But I want you to be on record that upon assumption of office, the caterers should expect an increase in the amount being paid as compared to the current payment they are receiving. Just for the records.
Honourable Member, I think from your answer, the indication is clear that the amount is woefully inadequate and it will be improved. He attests to the fact that sitting there, you will not be able to indicate the percentage improvement. So the answer is already per the record.
Mr. Chairman, just to also add that we have to first pay the caterers, because I know not long ago, last week, they were picketing and demanding their payment. And so the first attention is to make sure you pay them, the caterers, because some of them had to borrow before they engage in such a business. So let's pay them first and settle with them. I don't know the quantum of arrest. We need to know the arrest, the amount of money the government of Ghana owes these caterers. We ascertain it, pay them, make them happy, and then we'll move on.
Mr. Chair, as for this, I know it as a fact. So I'll give a voluntary answer. Honorable leader and my respected colleague, government paid all caterers, and I want you to quote me. The last term, it's only this term that is, this which has just begun, that government does not owe, that perhaps government owes, because the term would have to end. But I want you to know that I am aware that government paid all outstandings to caterers. The MPP government, at the time of leaving office, had paid every single caterer. Every single caterer was paid. There is no outstanding. And that it is this current term which has just begun, that upon completion, they will send their invoices for validation. So just for the records, that, and I pray that with assurance that there's going to be improvement in the amount being paid. You are saying that you won't use the word increase, but you will use the word improvement. Well, it means the same. So they expect that this current term, God willing, as you take over as a fresh ATO, they are going to enjoy an improved payment. Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, having put that on record, let me go back to the issue of cocoa price per bag. In an earlier response to questions that came from the floor, my respected colleague indicated that, well, the cocoa sector is under the Ministry of Agric, and that if there is any policy realignment, he will look at it. He also indicated that he is a key advocate for cocoa farmers. He did also indicate that he would advocate for the cocoa farmer. Now, the issue is beyond advocacy. You are now the man in charge of the press, and you know the pressure on cocoa farmers. The 6,000 Ghana cedi per bag that you committed, would it be your benchmark in your advocacy and eventual decision for the cocoa farmer? Because they are listening.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Leader. You may ask another question.
Mr. Chairman, cocoa money does not come to the consolidated fund. Cocoa money is outside the consolidated fund. It stays with the Ghana Cocoa Board. Ghana Cocoa Board uses this money part to buy cocoa, part to buy fertilizers and other inputs. I don't know what Cocoa Board is leaving behind. I don't know the extent of arrests they are leaving behind. I don't know the extent of debt that the Ghana Cocoa Board is leaving behind. I will not do this committee any good if I sit here and announce cocoa price. But as I've said, I remain a key advocate for the cocoa farmer. I will do so with the best of intention for the cocoa farmer. I recognize their sacrifices. I've spoke for them in the last 8 years, and I will continue to speak for the cocoa farmer. That I can assure you. But let's get to the cocoa board first and see what they have to do. I still maintain that the price they are paying the cocoa farmer is inadequate. I maintain that it's inadequate.
Thank you.
And there is more room for improvement.
Thank you. Further question?
Chairman, is a nominee conceding that the 6,000 per bag he quoted on the floor of the House was a mere political statement?
Mr. Chairman, the 6,000 Ghana cedi per bag should have been paid in the last crop year. Mr. Chairman, I say this because Cocoa Board is gradually turning themselves into a procurement agent just to procure inputs and denying the cocoa farmer. So they could have adjusted their formula to benefit the cocoa farmer. Very soon, the minister responsible for agric will be in place. I commit to work with him to give the cocoa farmer a fair price. And I believe the cocoa farmer deserves a fair price. And I know His Excellency the former president quoted me previously that I had said the cocoa farmer deserves 6,100. I'm not running away from that fact. I said it on the floor, and I backed it with the world market price in the city at the time. I still maintain that the cocoa farmer deserves 6,100. I've not run away from that position.
Thank you. You've been consistent in your answer on this. Any further question?
Rightly so, sir. Chairman, the nominee is being vetted as Minister of Finance. I want to ask I want to ask him whether economic planning will be part of his responsibilities.
Thank you very much. Though the instrument is very clear, you may proceed to answer the question.
Mr. Chairman, the instrument said Ministry of Finance. We are aware that the National Development Planning Commission deals with economic planning, but they interface with the Ministry of Finance. Fiscal policy in itself includes economic planning. And so there's an interface and coordination between the Ministry of Finance and the National Development Planning Commission. We will accordingly do so.
Very much. More question?
Chairman, the instrument titled the Executive Instrument EI1, Civil Service Instrument 2025, dated the 9th of January 2025, state the following: Ministries of the Civil Service. The following ministries in the civil service are hereby established. A, Ministry of Finance. If you go to the unreferenced letter from the Office of the President, signed by Callistius Mahama, PhD.
Doctor.
No, he put Callistius Mahama, PhD.
But his name is titled doctor. Like a sign.
My colleagues like to heckle me. When I give them a small dose, then they will be crying. Anyway, signed by Callistius Mahama, PhD, Secretary to the President. Which letter? The unreferenced letter, dated the 9th of January 2025, states as follows. In accordance with Article 78(1) of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, 1992, I hereby, on behalf of His Excellency John Mahama, submit for consideration and approval of Parliament the following nominees for ministerial appointment. 1, Dr. Kasiel Atoba Forsen, MP, Minister Designate, Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. I'm staying a bit longer on this because the instrument is dated 9th. The letter, communication to us, is also dated 9th. Which is which?
Honorable nominee, before you come in, leader, you know that the EI will take precedence over the letter.
I didn't sign any of the letters. That's all.
Chairman, does that mean that we should put the nominees' vetting on hold and expect the presidency to communicate the correct designation to us? Because what you are saying, which I agree, that the instrument which comes under constitutional provision, Article 11, if we go to Article 11, for the avoidance of doubt, may we go to Article 11 of the Constitution, the hierarchy of laws. Give me your Constitution. You didn't bring my Constitution. No, but they are instruments. No, they don't need to be. 11.7. Any other order or regulation made by a person or authority under the power conferred by this Constitution or any other law shall be, Mr. Chair, I agree therefore that the instrument takes precedence over the letter. If that is so, I believe that the right thing to do will then be that we receive another communication from the presidency stating the correct office you are going to hold, because that contradiction can only be cured by a letter. In any event, the instrument is not formally before the House. You see, we are concerned because we thought the NDC, having had an experience in government before, was fully prepared for this term. So with 8 quality men and women in charge of governance, we were expecting this to have been done. But I will not hold back your vetting. I am bringing this to attention of Chair to ferry these concerns to the presidency so that we get a new letter. And I pray that that letter comes before we take the report on the floor. That said, let me move to my next question.
Honorable leader, I pleaded with you that let's concentrate on the substance, but not the form. Before you proceed, I recognize the Chief Whip.
Chairman, I sympathize with the minority leader. He raised this point earlier, and you rightly said, our committee had a pre-sitting meeting. All these issues were taken into consideration, and we came to a conclusion that we will do the vetting today. And I mean, we all commended them for this kindness. So going to bring back this thing and suggesting that somebody should have known something, I think these were the issues we discussed. Otherwise, what is the point of having pre-sitting meetings and then to decide on the path to take? And then in the public, we are making it look as if these issues were not addressed. So I'm pleading with you. You have your right as the leader of the opposition to bring forth your point. But you are taking us back a bit, and unfortunately, the majority of the people watching us did not benefit from the pre-meeting arrangement. So I'm pleading with you once again. I just want to remind you once again, the shortest vetting we've had in this parliament since I entered was the vetting of Honorable Che Mensah Bonsu, leader of the majority, leader of the House. The shortest. The opposite happening today is the longest. Just that on record again. And you were the one who actually brought this up and reminded us. And you are participating in the longest ever vetting. As for Parliament and Ghana, it will continue to exist. We just hope one day nobody will insist. We insist that vetting of another leader should be the shortest.
Mr. Chairman, the shortest vetting we've ever had was with Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin. Let the records be perused. It's not Che Mensah Bonsu, so you check it. That said, I do not want to believe that Honorable Member Governor Abuja is trying to frustrate the process here. Fortunately, Honorable Roxanne Eche, including Honorable Governor Abuja, interrogating phrases used, sentences used, grammar, and paragraphs contained in a letter from Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to the House. So please, if I'm just clarifying, just for the record, and don't, unduly come in. I beg you. Thank you very much.